Team Flower Power was ranked at number 11. So as things currently stand, Team Indigenous Rising certainly stands to rise in the ratings of the tournament before the end of the outcome, or excuse me, the end of the weekend. Goose quickly awarded lead jammer Joe out of the pack for Flower Power. Goose bumped to the inside.
The S1 Lifer helmet is one size fits all for head sizes 20.5 to 23.5 inches. With our color-coded sizing liner system, you can be confident that you'll be able to create a perfect fit with the S1 Lifer helmet. Not all head sizes are the same, so size flexibility is crucial when you're looking to buy a helmet. Standard sizing liners do not affect how the helmet disperses impact energy. So no matter what size you are, an extra small or a 3XL, you can be confident that the S1 Lifer helmet will meet and or exceed current helmet safety standards. If you have a small head or you have a really big head, don't worry, we have a helmet that will fit you too. Check out our Mini Lifer or our Mega Lifer helmet, which are our smaller and bigger helmet shell options. Remember, a great fit is crucial for safety. The S1 Lifer helmet, a better fitting, safer helmet.
Flower Power leading in this jam. Oh, Joe means Joe with a little benefiting from a little trickery from Punchy. Does make it through the pack for 4 more. Flower Power currently on 8. We've got, oh no, another penalty now going against Goose. And it's been immediately rescinded, so this confusion is real, folks. 4 points awarded to Goose on the jam itself. 1 additional point for Team Flower Power. So that will take Indigenous Rising precisely to 100 and Flower Power precisely to 50. Make of that what you will. 7-10 to go in this first period of play. All right, here we go. Easy break, oven. A timely jammer choice for Flower Power. Immediately awarded lead jammer. And an immediate call off. Well, the jam was stopped. And I must confess, I do not know why. We are back to gameplay now. 1 point was awarded to Easy Break Up. Curiously not electing to run the jam. Watch it real good. Jamming now. Jam 17. Reign of Terror for Flower Power. Watch it real good. Has been awarded lead. Watch it real good. And MC Hammer engaged in combat, or just the legal side of it. Watch it real good. Finally prevailing. 4 points. And one of the first star passes of the game now. I believe this is MC Hammer, who's wrestled out of bounds by Karma. Yeah, we've got a power jam in favor of Team Flower Power, and it was assessed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hello.
Good if you can get the jammer out of the pack.
Bring it a little closer to my mouth. My mouth is.
Right on.
All right, so I can't hear myself through the program.
I don't think you can hear the aforementioned Jess Gosen, and so well done.
Not feeding anything in the ears either.
Yeah, not hearing ourselves. All right, so we're at 30 seconds. Let's just believe that we're live. I'm Kent Smith, a.k.a. Kent the Politician, joined on the microphone by Clown.
Oh, this is absolutely going to be a lot of fun here, Kent.
All right, so we're going to fight through the audio challenges that we have. Let's do rosters really quick if we can, or maybe we'll do it at the first break. Ohio lost Lexi Dexy to a separated shoulder, but besides that, the roster remains unchanged. Number 4, Coco Sparks. Number 10, Family Jewels. 11, Skankosaurus Lex. 42, Anonymous Hex. 47, Just Crazy. 71, Star Platinum. 74, Enemy Lou Harris. 77, Maiden Hell. 84, as I mentioned, Lexi Dexy. Injured. 99, Murder Line. 101, Tara Holonew. 111, Slamwise Ganji. 0125, Paige Bleed. 607, Gorgeous Curves. 777, Devious Diva. Do you want to do Florida, or you want to do Florida another time?
Let's get Florida after this first game.
Okay.
Track maintenance being done as well. Track crew has been essential throughout the weekend. Certainly glad to see hardworking volunteers at each track. Certainly appreciated. And as we resume play, Speedcat provides an injection of, indeed, speed, getting out of the pack quickly. Getting bumped by Joe Means Joe, but recovering quickly. He'll a quick 4 points for Speedcat. Meanwhile, Mac Daddy can only sit and watch from the penalty box, now standing. Speedcat quickly with 8. Well, Speedcat just in complete control. Seems to feel those boundary lines almost intuitively, those track raised boundary lines of the inner track. Just it's almost like Speedcat is magnetized to the track to the extent that almost never goes out of bounds. It's really, well, this time, however, with a solid hit from the pivot, I believe that's Joe Means Joe, and Joe means no in that case. That will pull the plug on the jam, but it's a 16-0 jam in favor of Team Indigenous Rising. We're back to a 2-minute and 10-second remaining time of gameplay. Mac Daddy still in the penalty box. Team Indigenous Rising is going to send T-Rexorcist to the jam line. T-Rexorcist can make it through. On her own, and indeed does. Scoring trip now as Mac Daddy still seated in that Happy Coffee penalty box. The seat of the unfortunate Flower Power Jammer now finally standing, and I tell you what, adding insult to injury, from the Flower Power side, we're going to have a call off by T-Rexorcist. So it is yet another Power Jam start in favor of Team Indigenous Rising, who would appear to want to put this game away and one period of play. I suppose one can't blame Team Indigenous Rising for that type of strategy. After all, we're here to win the games. Currently a 76-point lead. Flower Power on 51, Team Indigenous Rising on 127. Team Indigenous Rising currently employing their official review. We'll have more of the official review as far as what's being requested once the officiating crew comes over to the announcers' tables and provides us with that information. Again, Team Indigenous Rising certainly in a position of strength right now. Flower Power with their pivot and Jammer currently in the penalty box. Pivot standing, or excuse me, Jammer is standing in the box. Pivot still seated.
Getting close. All right, so now the star has been passed to Soul of Jacksonville Roller Derby. So Enemy Lou Harris, veteran jammer, skating backwards in the ref lane to re-enter, saw that and called it off.
Right at about 24 minutes left in this first half. 22-12 Florida. Stevens at the line for Ohio. Joint custody at the line for Florida.
Yeah, so this is the first set of jammers that led off the bout, so perhaps both teams going with a 4-jammer rotation. Again, you're watching Florida in blue, Ohio in white, and you're watching joint custody get to the front of the pack and get lead jammer designation again. Ooh, Coco Sparks with a big hit to get
Almost
Devious
busting
Diva
up the
through.
concrete on that one.
Yeah. Have to do some patchwork. And a quick call off.
4-point hit and quit it for Florida on that one. Right at 23 minutes left in this first half.
It'll be Sorry, go ahead. Be Star Platinum for Ohio, the jammer. Again, if the jammer rotation holds, this will be Sinner for Florida. It is.
And it is.
Sinner, who put up a 19-point jam, has one to beat. That's Paige Bleed, and Sinner is through. Sinner, the veteran of Jacksonville Roller Derby. Star Platinum of Cincinnati, up on her skid. Toe stops, not able to stay in bounds. Knocked out by Soul of Team Florida, Jacksonville. And Sinner is through. Sinner is so good. She makes it look so effortless, too. Star Platinum now with an angle on the inside gets through. Sinner on her second scoring pass. And you just... And a track cut called on Sinner.
Oh,
So Star Platinum, as everybody was watching that penalty take place, Star got around and scored her first 4. Ohio now at full strength in the pack, as is Florida. So again, a power jam opportunity. Star Platinum doing a good job of trying to rotate through the pack, but you gotta give some offensive support. She is through. Yeah, if you've got an opportunity to score points with Sinner and out on the track, you got to take advantage of that. 40 seconds left in the jam. Obviously, this is going to run the full 2 minutes. Star almost able to complete the pass, knocked out by Mission Gangster. And a forearm penalty on Sinner. Double jammer penalty. That's the only way she's not going to score points. Star Platinum again takes advantage of it. So this will be a double-digit scoring jam for Ohio. And Sinner will begin the next jam in the penalty box, as this jam again is going to time out right now. And so Ohio, if they hold to their order, will send out Murderline for the power jam start against Sinner.
Sinner will have about 12 seconds in the box before they come out.
12-point jam there for Ohio, taking the score 34-24 in favor of Florida. Florida has led throughout and frankly jumped to a big lead, 22-4 on a 19-point jam by Sinner, who's going to begin this jam in the penalty box. I'm Ken Smith, aka Kent the Politician, joined on the microphone by Clown.
Sometimes. Official time out on the floor, and all these pauses in the action are brought to you by 888 and 187 Killer Pads every single time we stop.
Yes, they do. All right, so we've got a lot of action in the penalty box. We have 2 Ohio blockers in the box. So Murderline's going to have a tough go of it, even though it is a power jam start. Good offensive support. Skankosaurus Lex out there.
Just fronted by blue jersey after blue jersey right there. No progress. Spending a lot of time in turn 1.
And Sinner starts in the penalty box and gets lead jam designation. Again, Ohio's pack is a little depleted. Murderline goes down on the inside. Sinner coming around for a scoring pass.
Oh, that was just some good motion right there.
Yeah, it really was.
To the inside, to the outside, just squiggling it right on through.
Yep. Yeah, Sinner skate skills. And again, they just look so effortless.
is about here and let you know just as soon as they let us know. Florida called for one. We don't know what they think was missed, but we'll find out here in just a bit.
All right, so that ended up being a 12-point jam for Devious Diva. So that the second double-digit jam for Ohio. Star Flatner had a 12. Sinners got the only double-digit scoring jam for Florida, a 19-point jam. And Florida has led throughout, but only 7 points separate these two teams right now. Again, the early tournament rankings are a little hard because obviously rosters change. Um, teams don't play together as much. But Florida came in as the 4, Ohio came in as the 22. So on paper, you would expect this to not be as close as it is, at least at this particular moment. Ohio has been held scoreless in 3 jams. Florida has been held scoreless in 2. So points are coming in somewhat small numbers, but they're coming fairly consistently for both teams. We're about ready to have our 10th jam of the contest. Again, you're watching Florida in blue, Ohio in white, and you're currently watching an official review initiated by the Florida bench coach. That is Josh, I believe.
Thanks again for all of you joining us online. You're watching Florida and Ohio on track 1 here. Florida leading 51 to 44 currently. We're in the middle of an official review that we'll find out what's up here in just a bit. 16:05 left in this first half. Going back to the action, we do not have an explanation on that official review just yet. Hopefully somebody will tell us something. We can let you know what's going on.
Star Platinum and Star Platinum is out in front, trying to still get you the, that is joint custody for Florida. Joint custody escapes. Star Platinum has an outside line pushed out and calls it off. I think she's going to get 3. She gets a full 4. And Ohio
Having up to hit and quit it there.
points.
Now we got a 3-point game.
Murder line
48. Ohio making the comeback there, edging out of this deficit.
blocked out by a ref. I think that's center. It is. We approach halfway through the first half. Murderline and Center come out of the pack at the same time. Felony Fat Bottom delivers a hit to Murderline, which slows Murderline down. But Murderline is the lead jammer. And so that is a break for Ohio as both Center and Murderline came through at the same time. Center being sent back to the jam stripe by Coach Josh. So this will be Center versus enemy Lou Harris.
Oh, some good focus to shut down Center on that last run. I know we got a repeat with Center here.
Exactly.
Enemy Lou Harris is your jammer for Ohio.
Nobody in the penalty box for either squad, and Center gets out in front and is the lead jammer. Enemy Lou Harris has got 1 to beat, pushed out by Scrap, comes back in. So enemy's at the front of the pack trying to make her initial pass. Center's coming through and just faked out Tara Hole in You. Again, just fluid motion. Tara Hole in You is a really good skater. And Tara thought Center was going one way and she went the other way. another clean pass, because again, Florida's got 2 blockers in the box. 20 seconds left. Enemy trying to take an inside line. Big pile up. She comes out alive. Florida now getting blockers out of the box. 7 seconds left of jam time. Can either jammer make a pass? Sinner stepped out, but didn't re-enter, so she got lucky there.
Blockers are being super sticky right now.
Lead change thanks to 19 points and a couple of power jams. So we are stopped, not sure why. Team timeout? Team timeout for Florida. 12:06 left in the first half. Ohio gets its first lead 18 minutes into this. Let's see if I can do some quick math. So, if my math's correct, and this is very quick, Sinner has 42 of the 62
Wow.
for Florida. Enemy Lou Harris, Diva, and Star Flatner, all have double-digit jams for Ohio. And Murderline, even though the score sheet wouldn't indicate it, Murderline has actually had a really good first half. Like Murderline got out in front of Sinner and called off the jam, for
Right.
example. That's 0-0, but that's a win for Ohio. If you can take the leading scorer for Florida, potentially off the track with no points. So, yeah, Ohio's doing well thus far. 12 minutes, 6 seconds remaining in the contest. So this is reverse cowgirl and devious diva. 1 Florida blocker in the box, so 4-on-3 pack advantage for Ohio. Again, Ohio in white, Florida in blue. Devious diva runs into the Florida blocker, survives the contact, and comes through. Cowgirl still held up by Ohio blockers. Devious diva pushed out, and felony fat bottom earns a penalty for it. So both teams with 1 blocker, 3-on-3 in the pack. And another penalty, that on an Ohio blocker, but Devious Diva gets through. So it's 3-on-2 in the pack. About a minute left of jam time. And yeah, wide open inside line. And Ohio loses another blocker, so only Skankosaurus Lex outside on the track for Ohio. Let's see how those... Skank tries to give Devious Diva an outside line. Still managed to knock down the Florida jammer. Skankosaurus Lex deserves at least a gold star for that effort. So 12-8 in favor of Florida. Ohio maintains a 1-point lead.
We're back to a 1-point game.
No.
Oh, sorry, 3-point game. 77-74, Ohio still in lead.
Yeah, both teams with double digit. Florida with 12, Ohio with 10.
We run in about 10 minutes when this next jam starts. It's jam number 14. Jam number 14, sorry, folks.
That is Control-Alt-Defeat going up against Star Platinum. Control-Alt-Defeat is the lead jammer for Florida coming in against the Ohio pack. Does a nice job on her toe stops on the inside. Star Platinum trying to get by Seoul and Michigander and one other Florida blocker, and she does.
Attempted apex hop there, but blocked.
And a power jam.
Over. Now a power jam for Ohio.
Yep, Control-Alt-Defeat called for a penalty, I think, when she tried to make that apex jump. We were a little blocked out, but Star a 3-point lead with this power jam. All the action's at the other end of the track. All we can tell you is there's a bunch of skaters doing things. Up, Star Platinum comes out. So Control had lead jam, so we're going to run the full 2 minutes here. Control is out of the penalty box. 35 seconds left of jam time. Nobody in the penalty box for either squad. So I heard a penalty call. It's another power jam.
Wow.
So there was contact between Coco Sparks, the first Ohio All-Star captain, and Control Alt Defeat at the apex of turn 1, turn 2. I thought that was perhaps going to be a penalty on Ohio, but it is another power jam opportunity. And so we're going to have a power jam start for Ohio. Murderline comes out with one Florida blocker in the box, so it's going to be 4-on-3 pack advantage for Ohio with a power jam start with maybe 18 seconds of penalty time or so, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Another double-digit scoring jam. Ohio adds to their lead. 7:40 remaining. 85 for Florida, 89 for Ohio. But Ohio with a power jam start. And Murderline quickly able to get to the front of the pack. Again, Murderline's having a really good bout that doesn't show up in the score sheet yet. All right, Control Alt Defeat out of the box, as is the Florida blocker. So both teams at full strength. Murderline Murderline's been called for a track cut, so it is now a power jam for Control Alt Defeat. And Control just passed it. I don't know if Florida knew they had a power jam. Passed it to Intoxicate. So this is going to be interesting because now this is going to run a full 2 minutes. We've had a bunch of full 2-minute jams, Clown.
Yeah. Yeah, well, once those leads keep going in the penalty box, then, yeah, we spend a lot of time here just calling out the laps as they happen. There's a quick 4 for Florida right there. We got a tie game at the moment.
Murderline standing in the penalty box, 6:27 on the period clock, 45 on the jam clock. Again, Ohio in white, Florida in blue. Oh. Felony Fat Bottom went down. Murderline tried. Felony Fat Bottom got up, knocked out Murderline. That'll teach you. So we've got an interesting view of the pack right now, and the blockers in the front are just watching the blockers in the back destroy both jammers. Again, the jammer right now for Florida is Intoxicate, who got the star, but she's playing defense.
That was very, very, very low scoring there. 4 up for Florida on the whole thing. 3 for Ohio.
Yeah, and
Shoot
again, that was a 2-minute jam.
Yeah, 2-minute
points
jam,
total.
7 whole points. Blockers just doing that thing all the way through. 92-89, Ohio in the lead. We got just over 5 minutes left as we start this next one. This is jam 16.
Enemy Lou Harris jamming for Ohio. Joint custody, and joint custody is through for Florida. So both jammers escaped the pack. Joint custody with about a half-track lead. Joint custody pushed out by Skankosaurus Lex and Slamwise. Enemy Lou Harris pushing the Florida pack and gets by. So joint custody has lead jam, but Enemy's got the score sheet advantage right now and is coming around on a second scoring pass, so she's going to get... Oh, and another power jam opportunity. Joint custody going to the box. And again, Enemy Lou Harris veteran Burning River Roller Derby jammer, knows how to make use of power jam opportunities. Slamwise going to the box, so 4-3 pack advantage for Ohio. Nice movement. Enemy was able to kind of deplete the pack. Now Ohio is filling up the penalty box. Gorgeous Curves goes to the box. And the power jam is over. Joint custody re-entering. Soul locking down with Michigander on Enemy. And Enemy's able to peel off the blockers and get through. So another double-digit scoring jam. And the Florida Jammers back in the box.
Amazing. Just a couple steps on the track and then we changed our mind.
Yeah, go back for 30 seconds of rest. And again, Ohio has now gotten all their blockers out of the box, which was a challenge. So Enemy Lou Harris is going to end up putting up 19 thanks to 2 power jams, but also she got a bunch of her blockers out of the box.
Tiny buffers
Holy
there.
cow.
Official timeout on the floor. 3:02 left in this first half.
All right, so here's another way of doing some math. So again, Center gets Florida off to a 22-4 lead, and that's the biggest lead they've had. That was after the second jam. Since then, Ohio's gone 107-70 and have led for the last 9 minutes. Again, Florida led until the 12:06 mark, where Enemy Lou Harris put a double-digit scoring jam on the board and flipped the scoreboard. If I'm a Florida coach, I want to put Sinner back on the jam line. But Sinner is sitting at the moment because the Florida jammer joint custody is standing in the penalty box. So this will be Devious Diva, who again had a very strong match against California. This is Akron roller derby skater. Diva begins with a power jam start. Good combination of speed and strength on Diva. Amazing that she was able to stay in bounds on her toe stops, even with the Florida pack leaning against her. Devious Diva is lead jammer. Tara Holinu not able to stop joint custodies out of the box and on the track and completed the initial pass. Joint custody joint custody in for first scoring pass, absolutely getting crushed by Maiden Hell, Coco Sparks, Tara Holinu, and Indominus Hex, and has to roll back. Devious Diva. So both jammers on their second scoring pass. Diva completes it just now. 1 minute on the period, 1 minute on the jam clock, 2 minutes on the period clock. And again, so joint custody able to slip through. And so that's going to go, I think, 8-8. Or maybe 4-4. All right, we'll call it 4-4. One minute, 23 seconds left of period time. Star Platinum against Sinner in what could be the final jam of the first half. And Sinner able to get through. Took her 7 seconds with a full Ohio pack of blockers, veteran blockers at that. Star Platinum, now star in hand, goes for an outside line and gets through. Sinner completes her first scoring pass. 45 seconds left of period time, 1:35 of jam time. score some points and is able to get through the Florida pack really nicely. Tara Holland, able to slow down Sinner, no easy task. And the call off by Sinner, you'll take that if you're Ohio, because I think that ran out the clock.
Yeah, it did. It was absolutely perfect.
Official review being requested.
Official review. So we will get one more jam out of this one. 19 seconds left on the clock at the time of official review call. So that'll be Ohio making that official review call. Perhaps they'll tell us what this one's about too. So that we can tell all the people at home at least. And thank you again for listening, if you're listening at home or wherever you're streaming us today. Glad to have you. Kent the Politician and the Clown with you here on track 1, Florida versus Ohio. Current score 119, Ohio, Florida 102. 19 seconds remain in the first half. So we will get one more jam before we go to the intermission. We'll be back with you just after that for one more half of this game.
All right, so let's do a quick game reset. It's a fairly easy story to tell. Florida got out to a lead. Biggest lead, according to my score sheet, was 18 points. But at about the 19-minute mark, it was 16 points. So again, Florida had, a decent lead. But then Ohio started to chip away, and on the strength of 3 double-digit scoring jams, one by Star Platinum, one by Devious Diva, and then Enemy Lou Harris flips the scoreboard with 12 minutes left in the first half. And Ohio has now pushed this out to a 17-point lead. The biggest lead they had at one point was 19 points at the 3:02 mark. But again, currently 17-point lead, 19 seconds left. And a lot of 2-minute jams, a lot of penalties. We're going to have to check the penalty numbers for you at halftime. Seems like Florida's been in the box more than Ohio has. And Ohio's obviously taken advantage of that. Oh, wait, we've got that information. Can you give us a... So we've got... Sinner's got 3...
Felony 3-to-1 ratio, Florida penalties to Ohio penalties almost.
Yeah. Yeah, so Florida's got 1, 2, course, Cowgirl just now escapes. Murderline with about a half-track lead. And Murderline goes into the pack, gets 2 points, calls off the jam.
That'll take us to halftime. 102-121, Ohio in the lead.
This is the biggest lead for Ohio, and we head into intermission. Cloud and I are going to check our 501 accounts and do some online banking, and we will be back in about 9 minutes.
We'll see you in just a bit. Thanks again for joining us.
The S1 Lifer helmet is one size fits all for head sizes 20.5 to 23.5 inches. With our color-coded sizing liner system, you can be confident that you'll be able to create a perfect fit with the S1 Lifer helmet. Not all head sizes are the same, so size flexibility is crucial when you're looking to buy a helmet. Standard sizing liners do not affect how the helmet disperses impact energy. So no matter what size you are, an extra small or a 3XL, you can be confident that the S1 Lifer helmet will meet and or exceed current helmet safety standards. If you have a small head or you have a really big head, don't worry, we have a helmet that will fit you too. Check out our Mini Lifer or our Mega Lifer helmet, which are our smaller and bigger helmet shell options. Remember, a great fit is crucial for safety. The S1 Lifer helmet, a better fitting, safer helmet.
right, everybody, we're back with you. 15 seconds left in this intermission here. 121 Ohio, 102 Florida. Kent the Politician and the Clown with you here for another half of Derby.
Right you are, Clown. All right, so it looks like it's going to be Devious Diva leading off for Ohio. Devious Diva's had a very good game wearing the star. The most memorable Diva moment was when she came into the Florida pack, a three-wall, came in fast with her hip, legal hip, knocked down all three and kept going.
That was quite a sight.
Was. And she's got 2 double-digit scoring jams, and she leads off for Ohio. Ohio with a 19-point lead. And going up against, we don't know yet.
Well,
Florida.
usually know by the time they hit turn 2. We're all kind of blinded by it. It's joint custody, by the way. Joint custody will be your jammer for Florida.
Right, thank you. Again, Sinner has been fantastic for Florida.
Absolutely.
Oh, a penalty on Devious Diva. That helps get joint custody to the front of the pack. So does a jammer penalty. Florida loses a blocker, so 4-3 advantage in the pack for Ohio, but Ohio with a power jam. Soul tried to come in of Jacksonville to try to provide some offensive support. Again, Soul doing a good job wrecking the Ohio pack. So joint custody comes through. Devious Diva standing in the penalty box. Florida sends a different blocker into the pack now. That was Michigangster. All right, Devious Diva is through. Devious Diva completes the initial pass. And the pack, a little spread out, now comes together in turn 3, and that set up the jump by joint custody, and she landed it perfectly.
A 1-point grab by Ohio for that last one. A lot of effort put in to just grab that 1 point. 122 to 114 now. This one stays interesting. 28 minutes and 19 seconds left on the clock for the second half.
So this is Star, Platinum, and Sinner. And Sinner took her 4 seconds to get lead jam. Star Platinum still trying to fight through the pack. Star Platinum's had a good bout so far too. Again, Ohio's played really well. And Star Platinum finds daylight through the outside of turn 1, turn 2, and is through. Sinner trying to navigate the Ohio defenders and is through, so points on the board for Sinner. Both jammers on a scoring pass, and Sinner calls it off.
Reducing the margin even further now, 122-118.
Murder line, and I think that is reverse cowgirl. Official timeout. We're confirming points. Yeah, I think that was just a quick discussion about points. Jam refs coming over to the score table, making sure that correct numbers were recorded. Yeah, so that is reverse cowgirl of Gold Coast Derby Girls and Murder Line of Burning River on the track. Nobody in the penalty box for either squad, so we've got 80 wheels on the track. And we're underway, 27-17 remaining in the bout. Murder Line with 1 to beat, category 5, and Murder Line is through. Oh, called for a forearm. So it is a power jam opportunity for reverse cowgirl. Again, Florida trailing by only 4, and Murder Line now gives Florida the power jam opportunity. Florida loses a blocker. but they've just tied the game and call it off. So they're going to rotate jammers and keep Murderline in the box for a power jam start. So a little bit of strategism's going on for the Floridas.
Some very big strategism.
And we are tied. What was a 17-point lead at halftime, sorry, a 19-point lead at halftime is now tied after only 3 jams.
Not a lot of penalty box time left for the jammer.
So this might be control. It is control alt defeat as the jammer of record, and she gets lead jam designation for Florida. Murderline standing in the penalty box now re-enters. Oh,
ooh, big hits to advance the cause there.
Murderline is through, makes her initial pass, control alt defeat, gets through the pack, calls off the jam.
That should be a lead change.
That should
yes,
be,
it
yep,
is.
That'll flip the scoreboard.
126 now, 126 for Florida, 122 for Ohio. Joint custody will be your jammer for this next one for Florida.
Devious Diva in what should be enemy Lou Harris's spot. Devious Diva is out on the track. Now,
that penalty box messed up everybody's rotation.
Well, enemy might have had the pivot stripe on. That jam ended so quickly I wasn't able to see it. But Devious Diva very quickly out in front. Again, Diva's had a strong contest so far, as is joint custody. So both jammers on a scoring pass, but Diva completes the 4-point pass. Coach Andy Marone says to run it. So not calling it off. That might be the right call if they can hold up joint custody, because Diva's now on a second scoring pass. Diva with 1 to beat gets taken off her skates. Again, Coach Marone telling her to run it. Florida now losing blockers. Ohio loses a blocker, so 3-on-3 in the pack. But again, joint custody, not able to get any, well, now she's through. So it'll be interesting to see if Diva tries to call it now, and she does. So we'll see how many points she gets credit for. 3, so that's going to go 11-4. And Ohio takes the lead right back. I think it was 3, yeah, 2 or, yeah, 3.
Official timeout to adjust that score.
Yeah, the scoreboard has it as 10. I think it's going to be 11 for Ohio, but we'll wait and see.
That'll straighten it out. Now it's 133 Ohio, 130 Florida. 23-37 left in this contest.
All right, now it's Star Platinum and Sinner. Star has held her own, but Sinner has, frankly, has dominated every time she's been on the track.
Sinner just like that every jam.
Yeah, good. Stop me if you've heard this before, but Sinner got lead jam in about 3 seconds. And
like a Terminator finding a path through traffic. That's nuts.
And she's calling
and
it
a quick 4, hit it and quit it, and that takes the lead back to Florida. 1 point now. 1 point difference in this game, 134-133. About 23 minutes left in this contest.
And if Star doesn't get out, Sinner's got no reason to call it. So, you know, good job by Star Platinum. All right, so this, if the rotation remains the same, should be Murderline and Reverse Cowgirl, but we'll see. It is Reverse Cowgirl, it is Murderline.
Yes, indeed.
And a track cut.
Oh, track cut.
She dragged the skate on the inside. So this is a power jam opportunity for Murderline. And who knows, maybe we have 4 jams in a row and 4 lead changes after each jam. as Ohio trailed by 1, but now they have a power jam opportunity. Murderline is through and is the lead jammer. Murderline goes into the pack. Pack collapses. Murderline finds daylight through the inside, calls it off with the jammer standing. So both teams extending power jam penalties. And
Power start with a 3-point lead.
Yep, 4th jam in a row with a lead change.
Unbelievable.
Timeout, Florida. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're late to the broadcast, you're watching Florida in blue, Ohio in white, in what was a matchup of 22-ranked Ohio, 4th-ranked Florida. And in the last 4 jams, we've had a lead change every single jam. 21:38 remaining in the contest. Let's take a look at penalties. There were a ton of penalties in the first half for Florida. See if anybody's getting into trouble. Doesn't look like... Yeah, I mean, we still got a bunch of skaters with 3 for Florida. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skaters with 3 penalties for Florida.
And only 3 with 3 for Ohio.
3 for Ohio.
But the penalty, they can rack up penalties, but the scoreboard's telling us a different story.
Right. Enemy Lou Harris, the jammer for Ohio, get a power jam start. And Enemy Lou is 1 to beat at Zirkle, 1 to beat its Felony Fat Bottom, 1 more to beat. It's Intoxicate, and she is through. So the power jam is over. Tara Holinew, able to take out Reverse Cowgirl, is almost as she escaped. Enemy Lou Harris is in the back of the pack, but is tallying points. Reverse Cowgirl is in the front of the pack, but still trying to make her initial pass. All right, good job by the Florida defense, locking down Enemy Lou Harris. The pack's a little spread out. She might be able to use that to her advantage. Reverse Cowgirl pushed out on the inside. Enemy Lou with 1 to beat and calls it off. Gets a total of 4.
Just excellent job on the part of blockers on both sides there. 4 points up now, Ohio, 141-134. We got 20 minutes left, 20 and a half left in this contest. Divas Diva will be your jammer for Ohio. Sinner on the floor now for Florida.
So this is interesting. This is the first time I think these two have matched up. Sinner with a rotation and gets by Soul and is through. This might... So Sinner is in chase mode, but both of these jammers are flying, both now entering the pack. Sinner's got an inside line. I'm sorry, Diva has an inside line. Sinner's been pushed out on the outside by the Ohio blockers. So both jammers now on a scoring pass. Their first scoring pass, Sinner able to break through the Ohio pack. Again, Devious Diva of Ohio's got lead jam designation. My guess is she's going to try to complete the pass. Coach Marone says to run it. And
Sinner making quicker
through.
work on that one.
So now Diva, if Diva can complete this scoring pass, will tie it. And the call off, so that jam's going to go 8-8.
So we'll keep that same margin, 149-142 now. 19 minutes left in this contest. Star Platinum will be your jammer for Ohio. Joint custody for Florida.
Yeah, so Star in joint custody. We've crossed the 19-minute mark. Again, Ohio in white, Florida in blue. I got a ref in the way. Joint custody. Finds daylight on the inside. Star Platinum digging in against, among others, Intoxicate of Florida. Felony Fat Bottom also out there. Joint custody coming around. Star Platinum is out for Ohio. She's done a good job of not giving up after she's not gotten lead. And again, the call off.
Just in time, too.
I don't think that is.
Well, just in time on that second run,
third run. 4-0 jam. We didn't reset the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that jam goes 4-0 in favor of Florida. I think our score will be 146 to 149.
Right. So we have a 3-point game with 18:05 left. A quick official timeout here just to adjust the scores. I think they're seeing the same thing we saw.
Joint custody, Star Platinum. So yeah, there's a discussion going on, not just about the scoring in the last jam, which was joint custody versus Star Platinum, but the previous jam of Sinner versus Devious Diva. And again, Devious Diva got lead against Sinner, which was near miraculous, just based on the effectiveness that Sinner has had. Devious Diva has had an amazing bout herself. That was the first time those two had matched up. The jam following, joint custody. No. 196 is the score. That's 146. That's not enough. I'm going names. Joint custody and Star Platinum.
What number? 906 was the jam. Seven was before that one here.
Diva got lead against Sinner, which never happens, but it did. Sinner's been amazing.
Jam 10 was Star.
Star Platinum and joint custody.
Stay it all day for Derby, so that way, to witness something amazing here, fantastic, and help out revenue development center. Right? So make sure you do that.
So yeah, 149 to 142. Florida just went 4-0.
Just some technical discussion, and we'll be back to you in just a bit here. They're making absolutely sure they've got all the points that they're due on the board. But it looks like what happened was there was a technicality there. They didn't reset the jammer scores in the previous one, so now it looks like Florida had 3 passes and Ohio had 2, when really there was only 1 scoring pass by Florida in that last one to take us to 149-146. In the previous jam, we had an 8-8, and that 8-8 just hung around until the next 4 were scored in.
So 777 was the jammer for jam 9, which is Star. Yeah, Star and joint should have been it. So Star was white and joint is the other one.
I have an unofficial.
Unofficial one. I don't like that. Well, but I wasn't able to hit 0, and then I couldn't hit initials, so I knew we were off by 1.
I think the score is correct.
From the announcer data, it looks like the score is correct.
So my score is correct here with 0, but that's not true because the line is not there.
Just a cover everybody.
sure. We think
I
so.
don't remember concretely what the trips, scoring trip sounds like. I wanted to also let you know that Florida, number 24, Bourbon, it's their fourth game in the tournament so far. It's like
Why couldn't you take your initial? Like,
I don't know about you, but like watching the whole game is so tired. I don't know about still.
we're good on points, right? We don't matter about points. Let's go.
Here we go. Almost there. Now it's close.
Okay, so I think that is correct.
I think the score is correct. It's just on here. It's the system didn't give us a new jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I think that the score is correct at 146 to 149. Sinner is the jammer for Florida, and she's out in front and has lead jam designation. Ohio's jammer is Murderline. So this is an interesting move by Florida, is they're jamming Sinner more often now. They're not keeping to the 4-jammer rotation per se. I mean, it's still the same 4 skaters, but they're rotating Sinner in a little more frequently. So we'll see if that, and frankly, if you're Florida, that's a good strategic move if Sinner doesn't run out of gas. And there's no sign that that's going to happen in this bout or anytime this weekend. So again, there was the discussion between NSOs and skating officials centered around the fact that the jam did not reset in the computer. So points from the joint custody versus Star Platinum jam were added to the Sinner versus Devious Diva jam. So I think all the scoring was correct. It was just there's a bit of a bookkeeping error in who got attributed what. But who got attributed all those points is Sinner and Florida, and the scoreboard flips for the 5th time in the second half.
Official review on the floor now. We'll come back to a power start for Florida.
Oh, right. Murderline winds up in the penalty box.
Probably about 10 seconds of that penalty time left, somewhere around there.
Ohio jammer is kind of chilling in the penalty box, sponsored by Happy Pop. Expertly blending the slow
Thank you.
Now that's Happy. Happy is proud partner with NAMI, the largest grassroots mental health organization in the U.S. For information, visit NAMI.org or happyproducts.com.
All right, so another discussion, official review. Murderline is in the penalty box. Joint custody will be the jammer, it appears, for Ohio. I'm sorry, for Florida. 16:38 remaining. Sinner with the first double-digit scoring jam for Florida in the second half, that 12-0 jam. Ohio Devious Diva has a double-digit scoring jam in the second half. So yeah, Ohio's doing well, obviously. But this is within their reach. And they've just gotta play smart. All the jammers have had a very strong contest for both Ohio.
What's your fine? Is it? Right. If I could write a note and be like missing, this is a fine. You got 0 points, so you're fine.
right, so again, you're watching Florida in blue, Ohio in white. We're in official review. We're at 2:30, 2:40 left in, or so far in the official review. It does appear that Ohio initiated it. There was some, so yeah, let's just sort of take you back to there. Let's count up the number of jams. So the question from a scoring perspective was on jams 9 and 10, where Devious Diva in jam 9, Devious Diva matches up against Sinner. Devious Diva gets lead jam, runs it on Coach Marone's commands. Sinner ends up getting 8 points. Diva's got 4. Diva concludes the point scoring pass as Sinner's coming around. Diva calls it off. So that jam goes 8-8. Then joint custody of Florida gets a 4-0 jam against Star Platinum. But that jam was quick enough. The jam points didn't reset from the first jam, the jam number 9. So jam 10, joint custody goes 4-0. And that became the conversation of who scored how many points and is the point total correct. Point total is correct. But right now, Florida up by 9 with a power jam start thanks to Sinner going 12-0 on Ohio and flipping the scoreboard for the 5th time. So joint custody is awarded lead jammer Murderline, not yet standing in the penalty box. So that might have been a penalty right at the end of the jam. It clearly was, because we're at 1:35 and Murderline just now getting out. So whatever the penalty was on Murderline, it happened right at the end of the jam. Joint custody's got 4 on the board. Murderline almost gets through, pushed out on the inside, recycles back in the back straightaway. Joint custody coming around on a second scoring pass. Murderline escapes the pack. So we'll see if joint custody calls it off as Murderline's now coming into sight. That's exactly what happens. So joint custody is going to get 3 on the second pass, so that's 7-0 for Florida. This is probably the biggest lead for Florida since about the 23-minute mark, so 7 minutes into the contest. They had a 14-point lead, and currently they have a 16-point lead, if my math is correct. Ohio's been held scoreless over the last 3 jams.
Sinner and Devious Diva are your jammers. Sinner through the pack and then grabs a, looks like a high block or a forearm.
So yeah, this is a power jam opportunity for Devious Diva, and Devious Diva is through. Again, doing a really good job of kind of jumping into the air, taking the contact and rotating, but still landing in the track. Devious Diva of Akron Roller Derby making a name for herself in this particular tournament, but more so than against anything else in this particular contest.
It's a pretty good even match between Devious Diva and Sinner too. I'm kind of liking watching this.
So Sinner is out of the penalty box again. Diva's got lead jam designation. So Sinner is now through. We'll see if Diva's choosing to run it. So now Sinner's going to get points. Diva is through. Coach Marone tells her to keep running it. Really nice pivot to stay in bounds for Devious Diva. So Sinner is through. So this jam is now, I think, 8-4.
Yep.
And we'll see if Diva, and she does. I think she's going to get credit for all 4. She gets credit for 3, so that should be an 11-4.
Yes, indeed. Now we got a 9-point game, 169-160. Florida in the lead. 13:40 left in this contest.
So second double-digit scoring jam for Ohio in the half, and Devious Diva has both of them.
Star Platinum, your jammer for Ohio now.
I think this is Control Alt Defeat.
I think it is too. Control Alt Defeat. your jammer for Florida. And Control defeats your lead jammer.
As we approach the 13-minute mark, Coco Sparks pauses on the infield to lace up the skate. Star Platinum is through. Control Alt Defeat as for Star. This is her initial pass and the call off. Such a good save by Ohio there at the end, just because it went for. Oh, we got a skater down. So a Florida skater is down on the infield.
Medics on the scene tending to that.
Gesturing to her right knee, but I think it is more of a tweak than a serious injury, just based on a little bit of the reaction. So we're at 12:44 remaining. 173, 160. Sinner flipped the scoreboard at about the 17-minute mark with a 12-0 jam. And Florida has led. There was also a period of time where Ohio was held scoreless for 3 jams in a row until Devious Diva put the 11 up, but then Ohio was just held scoreless in the last jam. So, all right, so let's do this math. Ohio's got 39 points in the second half. Devious Diva has 23 of the 39 points for Ohio in the second half. So whereas Ohio was able to hang with Florida in the first half, in part because all of their jammers were having really strong halves, Devious Diva has been the most effective jammer for Ohio in the second half and allowed Florida to overcome what was a 19-point deficit and is now a 13-point lead. All right, so our Florida skater is up with some assistance, but walking on both legs. Unfortunately, the medics have their arms wrapped around, so I can't get the number. Wrapped around the back of the uniform. I think that's 30. So I think that's Zirkle, but I'm just not sure.
I think you're right.
All right, Devious Diva back out on the stripe. So perhaps both teams adjusting their jammer rotation to put the hot skater out more frequently. Joint custody versus Devious Diva. And Diva is through. Joint custody still held up in the pack. Diva coming around. Joint custody now escapes. And the jump, that was easy.
Unbelievable.
I mean, well skilled, not easy, easy for me to say, but easy in the respect that the inside line was clearly there and Diva nailed it. So that's a 4-0 for Ohio, cutting the lead to 9.
So far our score, Florida 173.
Murder line against
With about 11:56.
Sinner.
it is Sinner. Murderline has committed some jammer penalties this half. Everybody goes down on the infield. Amazing.
Hanging in right on the edge of that track. But we get a call now.
Yeah, no. Sinner thinks she was called for a penalty. She was not. Oh, no, she was. All right. So Sinner is in the penalty box. We had a very good view of her skates. It was clearly not a track cut. So Murderline's trying to get by the front. Florida now one in the box. Ohio needs to help Murderline get through. It's a power jam opportunity. And Murderline gets through and now gets lead jam and calls it off with Sinner standing.
So a 0-0 jam there. Sinner's going to come out of the box on this one. And enemy Lou Harris will be your jammer for Ohio on a power start.
Yeah, but Sinner's standing. She's not going to be in the box for long.
And our score, Florida 173, Ohio 160.
Sinner has 5 penalties. We only have about 10 minutes left of Derby action, so perhaps that won't be a huge issue, but it's clearly a storyline that could exist. So enemy Lou Harris is jamming. Sinner is now out of the box. So that was a bit of strategy to try to get enemy Lou out there. But yeah, Sinner escapes the pack. Enemy Lou also escapes the pack.
Sinner has 5 penalties.
Sinner able to get through Ohio's pack. Enemy Lou is pushed out by perhaps Bourbon. I got half the number on that. Enemy Lou able to find daylight through the outside of turn 4, tallies 4. Sinner's already got 4 on the board herself. And Sinner with a rotation now pushed out and called off. She's going to get 3, so that jam goes 7-4 in favor of Florida. 12-point difference, 9 minutes remaining. That ends a 2-jam scoreless streak for Florida, but Ohio wasn't really able to capitalize too much on it as they only added 8 points. 12 points separate these two teams as we cross the 9-minute mark. Devious Diva back out there again. Looks like they've pushed her up in the rotation some.
They want to try and get that deficit reduced. And the blockers are denying it.
And Diva has been called for a penalty. She goes to, and Ohio pushes out joint custody. Paige bleed, part of the reason for that. Florida loses a blocker, so it's a 4-3 advantage in the pack with joint custody going up against Tara Hole-and-You. I believe that is Family Jewels. It is. Paige bleed. Can't get to the other blocker. Devious Diva is out of the box. The whole pack is stopped in turn 3. So they're a little split up. So now Florida pack comes together. It's Tara Hole-and-You is the other blocker for Ohio. Diva is through. That is the initial pass and the call-off. All right, so that was a bit of a win for Ohio if that only winds up as 4-0. Or 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah, when your hottest jammer goes to the box and you keep the opposing team at 3-0, that's not bad. 7-20. Star Platinum will be.
They did change it to 4.
First Cowgirl. Oh, it goes to 4. Okay, yeah, thank you. Cowgirl and Star Platinum of Cincinnati. High block on somebody. Ohio's going to lose the blocker. Both jammers escape the pack at the same time, but it is Star Platinum who is the lead jammer and the call-off. Timeout being requested by Ohio, which is smart. They had 3 timeouts. They had 6 minutes, the clock is still running. Okay.
6:41 left now.
6:41.
Ohio charged with this timeout. That'll be the 3rd. Florida having 1 remaining.
Yeah, so this is what Ohio needs to do. They need to, use the timeout, frankly, between, jams to keep the 30 seconds from rolling off. Because trailing by 16 is not insurmountable, obviously, but you need every second left on the clock to be able
Absolutely.
Good wingspan. I mean, if you flag me down to 6, probably help you out.
All right. Let's see. So if I told you that the number 4 team in the tournament was going to play the number 22 team in the tournament, would that be about that would get you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lead changes?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, okay, quick penalty updates. Ohio's only got 1 skater that's got 4 or more. Sinner, however, has 5, and Cyanide has 4. Sinner, the jammer, and Sinner is through, going up against enemy Lou Harris. Enemy has 1 to beat. It is felony fat bottom. Easier said than done. Now the Florida pack surrounds enemy Lou Harris as Sinner goes right through the Ohio pack and tallies 4. It is enemy Lou Harris is the jammer, and enemy is through on her initial pass. Sinner has 8, if my informal tally, and they're going to run some clock and then they call it off, and that's what they do. So smart move by Sinner, again realizing time is on her side, but a very fast jam. We had a timeout at 6:41. We're only at 6:16 right now. And again, this becomes, so it's borderline for Ohio.
Joint custody for Florida.
Joint custody for Florida. We're under 6 minutes to play. The pack completely bunched up. Don't let the fire marshal see that pack. Joint custody is through. So Florida gets lead jam. Murderline still trying to make the initial pass. Joint custody able to roll through the Ohio pack. That is 4 points, 5.5 minutes. Murderline gets through. Joint custody, I think, is going to try to make one more pass. She does and calls it off. Ohio did not make contact with her, and the timeout taken again by Ohio. Coach Marone doing all he can to give his team additional time, but you can't be giving up 8-0 jams. So now 5:16, Ohio spends their second timeout. They have 1 remaining. But Florida has crossed the bicentennial mark, 200 points. And so again, Florida has gone 98 points in the second half. Ohio has gone 57. And again, Devious Diva rolling towards the jam line for Ohio. Devious Diva, again, as I pointed out, she's got 27 of the 57 points for Ohio. But that's just very quick math, and I might be wrong. And Sinner comes out for Florida. Again, both teams adjusting, putting their strongest jammers out. Diva called for the track cut. That could be the proverbial nail in the coffin, as you've got Sinner out there for Florida in what was a 32-point lead before this jam began. Sinner with 1 to beat at the front of the pack. You can't let the pack separate itself if you're going to try to slow her down. Family Jewels out of the box. Family Jewels rejoins her Ohio, blocking friends to try to slow down Sinner, but there is no stopping Sinner. Sinner has a double-digit scoring jam, and we're 50 seconds into the jam. After she put up an 8, last time she was out, she put up a 7. Before that, she put up a 4. Before that, she had a double-digit scoring jam. Sinner has scored every time she's worn the star in the second half, and it will play a huge impact if Florida does prevail. Devious Diva is out of the penalty box, completes the initial pass. Sinner is going to call off the jam after putting up 16.
Sinner looking like, how many points? 16? Really? Awesome.
We are at 3:40 left on the game clock. The last time the scoreboard flipped was at 16:38, 13 minutes ago, when Sinner put up a 12-0 jam on Ohio. Ohio had led the first 14 minutes of the second half. So a disappointing second half for Ohio, no doubt about it, because their first half was so strong and all jammers were firing on all cylinders. Enemy Lou Harris pushed out by Misha Gangster. This is a matchup of Control Alt Defeat and Enemy Lou Harris. Again, Florida and Blue will advance as they came in as the number 4 seed. Oh, and Control is down, and this jam is stopped.
So much physicality in this match.
Yeah, no passing ball for injury, right?
All right, Control to her feet, but is clearly favoring the right leg, right ankle, but, you know, in a lot of pain. But as derby injury goes, certainly it looks like it was not the worst thing that could have happened. And when you're concerned about lower body injuries, the worst thing that could happen is usually what comes to mind. All right, so Devious Diva will be out there with joint custody once we get underway. 2:56 remains. Ohio, which put up a extraordinarily strong contest against the number 4 ranked team in the tournament. Oh no, it's not Diva, it's Enemy Lou Harris back out. But Enemy and joint custody.
And we are off. Next jam, jam 23. Here we go. And we have Ohio, Emmy Lou Harris, this is Jammer. Florida joint custody.
Under 3 minutes to play.
And we've got right.
Ohio, both teams at full strength. Nobody in the penalty box. Joint custody trying to go up against Paige Lead and Tara Holinu. Ohio missing one of their blockers, Lexi Dexy, who got a separated shoulder against California. Did visit the doctor's office, is fine, but will probably not suit up again for the remainder of Skate Wars. Joint custody pushing the Ohio Pack surrounding, Ohio Pack bridging Enemy Lou Harris. The Pack is all across turn 1 and turn 2. Joint custody now goes down on the outside and has to recycle back. Family Jewels now, as everybody rotates back, trying to give an assist to Enemy Lou Harris. But we're more than a minute into this, and we don't have a lead jam designation. We haven't even got to the back straightaway. Again, both teams went fairly much exclusively with a 4-jammer rotation, occasionally sprinkling in Devious Diva and Sinner a little more frequently. But yeah, perhaps this is just exhaustion at the end of a really long bout. And Enemy Lou Harris
Wow.
took her 1 minute, 48 seconds, and she's got a power jam.
That was amazing. A whole minute 45.
So, and she's going to get points. She got out of the pack. It took her 1 minute 48 seconds to get through the pack, and she scored 4 points in the final 12 seconds. And Enemy Lou is looking for Gatorade, a massage, and a nap.
Timeout Ohio, 2:16, 172 Florida. 49 seconds left in this thing. We'll get at least one more jam out of it.
You know, guys, let me just tell you, here's the score so far. Florida, 216. Ohio, 172.
Devious Diva will be out there for Ohio. Ohio spends its last time out.
I have a feeling we're going to run a full down. What say you? I just
Perhaps the outcome not in doubt at this point, but a very strong contest for Ohio.
This has definitely been a fun one to watch the entire time.
Yeah. And with Florida getting into penalty trouble, you thought that might become, a linchpin to the story of the bout. And now Florida takes a timeout. Well, Florida didn't have any skaters. Florida didn't have any skaters on the track, so they had to take a timeout.
I guess Florida's trying to rough up the rhythm here.
But, yeah, we thought that Florida's penalty trouble might become a storyline. Turns out it was not. They committed a lot of penalties. It added to the points that Ohio was able to get in the first half, but nobody fouled out. Devious Diva had a very strong bout and a very strong second half.
I have a feeling we probably could do a full 2-minute jam on this last jam. If I was Ohio, that's what I'd do.
And yeah, it's a power jam start because joint custody
He's in the box, right?
got a penalty right at the end of that. So Devious Diva will have a power jam start. Sinner is wearing the stripe. So if there's a star pass to Florida, it'll go to someone named Sinner.
Power to power. Imagine that.
And we are underway with what is likely the final jam of Florida versus Ohio. Ohio in white, Florida in blue. Devious Diva of Akron Roller Derby taken out by Sinner. Somehow this is appropriate. These two are in the MVP discussions for their respective teams. Devious Diva does a really good job of making the pack, of speeding up the pack and then rolling it off her back. Again, Star already in the hand of joint custody as
Yes,
she
indeed.
comes out of the box. Sinner with her hand out. Devious Diva. So the Star has been passed to Sinner. So yeah, these two jammers, who've both been really miraculous for both teams, will finish wearing the star for their respective teams.
You got 1:07 left on the jam clock. That or the lead jammer will end this thing. 2:16, 176. That's
So-
about to jump up to 180 now for Ohio.
Yeah, so this might, if Devious Diva makes this pass, she'll have 3 double-digit scoring passes in the second half for Ohio. Really strong bout for Devious Diva. She has 40 seconds to complete this pass. She scored some points, and nope, pushed out by Felony Fat Bottom. Sinner, in the meantime, has completed the initial pass for Florida, but Ohio is locking down. So I'm not sure. So Sinner will have scored some points on this one as well. But,
Oh, that was rough. Ooh.
Devious
Got
Diva
right
just-
back up off of that. Oh,
Yep.
man.
So Devious Diva got pushed out on the outside and took a scary tumble to the ground. And with that, she called off the jam because, yeah, you'd love to. And she does finish with a double-digit scoring jam. So Devious Diva was almost entirely the Ohio offense in the second half. but most of the offense for Florida was center.
Yeah, if you remove penalties, take penalties out of the factor, this would have been a whole different story.
Right.
But super tight the entire time. 220, 180